Hi, this is the third video in my CSI series. Today we are taking a look into the Wolves and Other Things stream, which was shown recently. And I've opened it here already, and let's just get started without further ado. So the first thing I would like to jump to is at 144, and maybe we start at 14 seconds, something like this. We'll just come. This is the promotion of a carpenter. So we see he's jumping up in the air. He grabbed the saw before that. And actually that seems to be the animation which is played in case you promote one of your workers into a profession. So that was the animation. And a little bit earlier at 1:43 and 4 seconds, something like this. Let's jump there. We see this file here. This file is labeled grab talisman action lure. So it's a lure code. And talisman seems to be the items which are related to a profession. So in the case we just saw, it would be for the carpenter, the saw. And here are some nice comments included. I hope all the code will be commented like that, because that looks very, very interesting already. So here, call this action when a user clicks on a tool, and the person should take up the profession later on. So actually we choose the tool, we click on promoting one of our workers, and this tool will be then considered a talisman. Call this lure file here and cause some actions. And some actions means that it will be promoted, or the worker will be promoted to a new profession. There is here another comment. Since we want people to drop whatever they are doing in order to get their new profession, so whatever your worker will be doing, he will stop it, and the priority will be on getting promoted to the new profession. So you see here they call it priority lottery, and he goes, gets the item, the animation will be played, probably this one we just saw. So the worker is jumping up in the air, holding up his talisman, and afterwards he is promoted to a new profession. There are some to-dos, so not everything is done yet. So what happens if the worker is not a worker, but he has a profession? So what is here the plan, as it seems, is he should drop his talisman. So he will lose the old profession, take over the new profession. So that's also something which is an interesting detail. Let's see if it happens like that in the game then later on. I think he will scroll down a little bit to one other comment. There we see it. So what is written here? On trigger event, questions really are entity in case two promotions happen. So here actually they also want to cross-check at the end once more that really the right one is promoted. There will be an event on trigger, it's called, which will cause that the worker is changing the clothes. So that's the whole process of what happens if your worker is promoted. Quite interesting insights, and as mentioned, hopefully the whole code will be documented like that. That will be much easier than later on to create some modifications. So well done on that one. Let's jump to the next thing I thought it might be of interest. It's around 11:15 coming up. Tom is going to save, and as often if you save, Cubicle is providing us with some hints. So there we go. And we saw something similar in the past already. So here are maybe one or two other things which are of interest. So Civ heads. So this seems to be the different heads Tom is working on. You might remember your worker will have different haircuts, different hair colors. So probably these are all just heads which are then exchanged, if I read it right here, the naming of the file at least. So hopefully this is a big file with a lot of options for us. And there are two other things here. One is the outfits folder. So not sure if this is armors and all this stuff, because we have here armor files. Maybe it's just other outfits, something your worker might be able to equip. Maybe it provides some bonus, I don't know. For sure it would be cool to have really some optical changes on your workers, not only changing the profession, getting new clothes. So let's hope there is something more behind that one. And there is a palette test. So it was mentioned by Tom that they want to offer the chance for modders to change the color palette. So I don't know what is behind that one exactly, if it is just playing around a little bit, or so to see if it works out, how it looks like, what they could offer, or maybe they are planning already to provide some more options in this direction. Yeah, the more the merrier, I would say, also on that one. Now let's jump to 1235, which is the next one. Let me go here, and there we are. So actually for this one we don't need the magnifier. So Tom has here open a notepad with some comments, self-timing it's called. So what we do see here is midnight, sunrise, starts, and sunset. So this seems to be the day cycle. It seems like in units, a day will have 1440 units, that midday is half of it, 720, and that the sunrise start and end will take something like 30 units, start with 360, ends with 390, and the sunset will take a little bit longer, based on this plan at least. So it will start at 540 and end at 590, and this seems to be the input for the day-night cycle, which we saw animated already in some other streams. So here it is confirmed once more that we might have a sunset, sunrise, and that was no surprise. Tom mentioned this already, that they are planning to do so. So here is something interesting. Probably also this can be modded then later on simply by changing the numbers, making the day longer, changing the durations, having a world which is living in the dark with a very short day time. Whatever you have in your mind seems to be possible with this one. I have another one. This one is at 3622. Let's try to catch that one too. And here we go. I'm not sure if we passed it already. There it is. Too short. Sorry. My fault. So let's give it another try. What we have here is Tom is working on the Weaver workshop and shows one layer which seems to be an additional menu later on in the game. It's labeled choose an ingredient, and you have actually, it shows only wood, different amounts of wood. But what I could imagine is that later on, once you select an item to craft it, you will see which resources are required or how many. For example here, 2 of wood, or that's not wood actually, but if that would be wood, you click on it, you open another window like this one, where you can choose out of the woods you have. So for example, you have 2 times oak, so you choose the oak wood. You have, I don't know, cherry trees, whatever, you choose this wood, and based on that you can then create another item, maybe with other stats, with for sure other look. And that would be a nice interface actually, to have here the different available resources, and you can just choose from them, so you don't need to look for. So that's also an interesting small bit of information. And we can just let it go for a little bit. Actually, it's a little bit longer, so let's jump in front. And the next one, which is coming up here, is we will see a bed as a selected item to be crafted. Here it goes. And so that's a comfy bed. It will look probably later on in a different way because Tom was overworking them. But you see here some stats. So you see 10% sleep effectiveness at night, 5% happiness, and 3 other affixes which are empty. So that shows again that also the different beds might have different buffs and gives an idea what these buffs might look like. Another interesting one, I guess. So that's almost it. I have one last small status update, I would call it. And I think that was quite at the end, something like 45, 18. It's not so much at the end. Here we go. So Tom is again in the forum, and the small status update is it's not getting better with his mails or private messages, so it's increased to 244 now. So really think twice if you want to send him a private message. Okay, so that's it for this time. I hope there was one or the other information which you missed the first time looking at the stream. And yeah, let's see if we will get some other insights, hidden secrets which we can reveal. Thanks a lot for stepping by. Have a good time.